I am safe. I am enhanced. I am supported. All is well.
Hello, everyone, and happy day. Welcome to Try on Thriving Podcast. Again, we are so excited to be here with another amazing guest. Yes, let me introduce myself. I'm Erica Kesse. I am the son of the Thrivers, powered by love, wisdom, and celebration. I listen as a therapist, teach as a coach, lift as the leader's healer to bring clarity for activation and execution. I am the CEO of Your Goal Concierge. You see the link ticking below, and also the founder of Try on Thriving Ministries. And it is built for mom energy leaders, those fixers, helpers out there, burnt out because they're forgetting themselves while serving others. I know what it feels like to be deep down soul tired, but now I stand as the son of the Thrivers, powered by love, wisdom, and celebration. And I stand that way because I command my thriving. I will invite you, Mom Energy Leader, to go to www.yourgoalconcierge.com and get your Thrive Plan today. And we're going to be talking about the Thrive Plan as well today. And once you get that Thrive Plan, you will be a commander that can launch into the Thriveverse and land safely within the community that is built for your rest, rejuvenation, and building of your legacy. So I am so pleased to have my guest here, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Well, hello, Erica. Thank you so much for inviting me here. I really appreciate it. Hello to the audience. I am known as Clustine, the Purpose Coach, and I help God's daughters identify what their purpose is and then monetize it by elevating their success mindset so that they can focus forward. I think I have the best job in the world and I love what I do. I've been doing it for over 20 years. I started out as a speaker, became an international speaker. And then every time I spoke, someone would come up to me after and was like, oh my goodness, I wish I could take you home with me. And if I met that person later on, I would find that they still, they were good for a few days, but then they just regressed back into who they were being and how they were showing up. And so I said, you know what, I need to do more than just speaking, as much as I love it. And it's my first love. So I started coaching, and I have a coaching program called the Sold, SOULED, Sold Out Method. And it basically helps God's daughters to take a look at the vision that God has put in their heart, identify then who they need to be, because who we need to be is so much more important than who we need to do and what we need to do, right? And so I think I love what I do. Not I think, I know I love what I do, and then helping them to just take that vision, bring it to life, discover who they need to be, identify who they need to support. And a lot of women have challenges with this because when you have fear and doubt, you want to embrace everybody, right? So that you're sure you embrace everybody. But what I teach them to do is to be comfortable in who God's created them to be so that they can stay in their lane and focus on those that they're called to serve. Because those that we're called to serve, we have the right personality for them. We've had the right experiences, good, bad, and indifferent for them that can help them. And we have the right wisdom and knowledge to support them. And so it's really important to be, strategic and focused. So I've been doing the Sold Out method for about 6 years now. And it's, I just love it because it brings women from not sure who I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to be doing, to this is who I am, this is who I'm being, and this is who I'm helping. And then leaving the program with a program, their own coaching program, and making money prosperity and monetizing it. So I think it's great. And then I have a couple of books that I've written, and I'm working on my third one as well. And this is just to help people with their mindset, because at the end of the day, that's what is important, is having a success mindset, and a mindset where you are loving yourself, because you got to love your neighbor as yourself, right? So the key is you got to love yourself before you can love your neighbor.
Thank you so much for that powerful introduction. And you have to share each one of those books. You didn't let us see them. So let us see them and tell us about each one and how we can get them.
So the first one is Nuggets of Knowledge to
Mhm.
Get Unstuck. And that book I wrote in 2006, and it's each chapter is about 1 or 2 pages. It's very short. And then afterwards is a questionnaire, a coaching questionnaire, that you answer the questions to pull information out of you. So it's really designed to help you get unstuck, to uproot those things that have you stuck. Then the second book is The Art of Convincing Yourself.
Ooh.
And this book is important because so many of us convince ourselves to not show up,
Mm-hmm.
to convince ourselves to hold back. So the art of convincing yourself is really convincing yourself to say yes to who you've been created to be, and to say yes to the prosperity that is waiting for you if you're willing to do the work and willing to press through to the other side.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing those books. And they can
You're
get
so
those
welcome.
on your website?
They can get it on the website, or they can go to Amazon. Either
All
one.
right, absolutely. Wow, you all, nuggets of knowledge and the art of convincing yourself. Wow, sounds like amazing books. It makes me think about my book. I have a book called Honey, You Need Counseling Skills. Heal Yourself, Ignite the Leader.
I love it. I love
And
it.
I got some other books as well, but my philosophy, there's one called Be on Top, TOP, Try On Philosophy. As you can tell, this is
Love
Try
it.
On Thriving. So that's my philosophy, to keep on trying until you find the right fit. And I hope that you all are tuning in and
Love it.
learning about our amazing guest today. So maybe you can try her on to see if she's a good fit for you. She's speaking a lot of amazing things, but I want to learn more about you. Can you tell us a little bit about your story on how you have journeyed into being who you are?
I would love to share my story. That is like my favorite part. So for me, when I was a little girl, I used to play with my little teddies and my dollies, and I would teach them, 1 plus 1 equals 2, and things like that. So I was born in England, right? And when I was almost 13, we moved to the United States of America, the Boston area. And I remember moved into the high school realm, and I remember them saying, okay, you got to pick a track. And I was like, okay. So I had done some research on teachers, and I was like, oh, they don't make a lot of money, so I'm not going to do that anymore. We come up with our reasons for why we don't want to or can't do what God has already put in us. And so I decided to follow engineering
Mm,
because I was good at math and science, right? So using logic, I said, good at math, good at science, put the two together, let's follow that road. So I went into engineering, and I was an engineer for 8 years. And 2 years into the 8 years, I was at lunch with my colleagues. It was mainly all guys, because back then there weren't a lot of
mm-hmm,
women in engineering. And that day, the conversation was, what's what do you want? Where do you want to be in 5 years? So they went around the table. Everyone's sharing, oh, I want to get my master's degree in engineering. I want to develop a patent. I want to be a manager in engineering. And I want to develop something in engineering. And they're just going around the table sharing all these things in engineering. Then they got to me and they're like, Celestine, what about you? And I said, yeah, all of those things, right? Yeah, all of those things. And then on my way home, and luckily I had a 30-minute drive. On my way home, I was like, okay, God, I don't want to do any of those things. And I realized I am not in the right place. I'm not
Mhm,
in the right place. And so
mhm,
I call it the 6 year prayer. I just started praying and asking God, where am I supposed to be? And it was like silence, not no response. He answered everybody else's prayer. He answered all the other prayers I prayed for other people and other things, but not that. It was pure silence. But what he was doing that I didn't see at the time was that the managers and directors often would come into my office and they would vent,
yes.
and I would give them advice.
Mm.
And I loved that part of my job, except I wasn't getting paid for that, right? I love that part of my job, but I was not getting paid for that. And so, your life leaves clues. I didn't see it as a clue until 6 years into my career. To make a long story short, I moved to North Carolina and I was there for about a year. And then one day we went to work, and all the C level managers, the managers, directors, the vice president, the president, they were all gone. And everyone was like, what's going on? And when they came back, they said, there's going to be a meeting tomorrow. Well, I wasn't concerned. Some people were concerned and like, oh my goodness, they're getting ready to lay off some people. I had always missed layoffs, right? Always, right? So every company I worked in, and I only stayed in a company for no more than a year and a half, and then I would either move to another department or move to another company. And I realize now, because I've been in my business 20 years, I realize the reason why I was so antsy and restless and
Yes.
couldn't stay for more than a year is because that's not where I was supposed to be, right? And so I felt just kind of drained, like I gotta move on. And so when they came back the next day, they had everybody going to two meetings. Every department had two meetings. One meeting was for those who were staying, and one meeting was for those who were leaving. So I'm in this room with people, and I'm not really paying attention because I've always missed layoffs, right? I would always get a promotion, and then maybe the person who was in the position that I had before, they would get laid off after a few months. So I wasn't concerned. And the next thing I know, I hear, I'm sorry to inform you, but you all are getting laid off. Then I was paying attention. And I was like, wait, what? And then it was like this peace came over me, and it started really small, and it just consumed me. And I knew that was God telling me, happy birthday, my daughter. I have something good for you. And the reason why I say happy birthday is because they laid off 117 people, including myself. They had four layoff dates. I was the only one laid off October the 27th, which is my birthday. Right. So it was like God was sending me a message that, don't worry, this is a good thing. I have something better for you. And it's been a roller coaster ride ever since. But I'm still on that ride. It's been 20 plus years, and I won't get off because this is who I've been called to be, to help people through coaching, through speaking, through my books, through my trainings, through my programs. So I think I have the best job in the world.
Absolutely. Wow. Wow. What an amazing story. Especially because I'm a
Mm.
birthday girl. Like I love my birthday. I
Me
celebrate
too.
the whole month and it's in
I
September.
still read to the end of the year. Because I'm the end of October, so I'll just celebrate November and December. Yeah,
Yeah, makes
as
sense. That
well.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I celebrate the whole year. Oh wow, that's an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that. Um, let's let's go into talking a little bit about the Thrive plan that you were able to complete. So let me just give you a little backstory regarding the Thrive Plan. So I lost a child to an ectopic pregnancy and recognized that I lost, um, so that the people around me were not really able to support me. And
Mm,
I had was a strong person. Okay. I was the fixer. I was the helper. And so they really did not have the capability and capacity to support me. And so I did not just lose the child, I lost my everybody who I thought was in my inner circle. So I
mm,
was grieving and I lost my will to live. And as a licensed professional counselor, what we do with individuals who are suicidal or lose their will to live is that we give them a safety plan. But that is a reactionary tool that's used to preserve life. Well, I created the Thrive Plan because I was inspired while I was giving myself the safety plan, thinking, why did I not have a plan to thrive in the first place? Why
mm,
did I not have a preventative tool that works with me to ensure that I can rebound from conflict, from grief, from circumstances that happen in my life? Why is it that my personal operating system was that I was over giving myself to others and not necessarily caring for myself, so much so that I didn't even know how to care for myself in the middle of my own conflict. So I
mm,
created the Thrive Plan, and it is a self awareness reflection and operating system. It takes you from your conflict and knowing that you naturally go into trauma reactions, which is fight, flight, freeze, flop, or fawn. I'll talk more about that in other episodes when I'm doing audits of Thrive plans. I go through them and walk them out and talk them through, but you'll learn more about those on other episodes. You can stay tuned to other Trial and Thriving podcast episodes. But um, it then takes you into really knowing how does conflict show up physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually inside of you? How does it show up? So then you know for a fact that you're feeling a reaction or sensation. So then you go about soothing yourself, which is usually people don't do that. They go about trying to fix it or they run from it, the trauma reactions, right?
right.
So then you also have a social support system. Remember, I told you I lost everyone. So it's very important. Relationships are our lifeline and power. So it's very important to have people who really understand you. A lot of times people don't know how to benefit you. So this helps them to know how to benefit you because the goal is for them to just bring you back to your coping when you're in the middle of your conflict. So as a leader, okay, you understand that it takes a thriving you to have a thriving life. How was it for you to complete the Thrive Plan?
So it was it was a good process because what it makes you do is it makes you stop and think. And that is one of the things that a lot of times people don't want to do. They don't want to stop and think. So they don't want to think about their trauma. They don't want to think about the things that are hurting them. And so they will pile on more things to do, right? So that they don't have to think about it. And
Mm-hmm.
so what it does is it makes you stop and think, which is something I talk about all the time. And it made you look at areas that you may not be acknowledging or may not be looking at so that you can face your challenges and issues. And so that's what it did for me. And yeah, so it was a good process. It was a good process because it made me really think deeply about some things I haven't thought deeply about. And being a coach, I have a proprietary process that I use where you have to take a look at what you're thinking about and how you're feeling, and then you can go to the gratitude and the declarations and things of that nature. So and it's a daily process for about 40 days, but this was good because it even went even deeper to say, okay, let's take a look at how you're responding to the challenges and the trauma that's currently in your life. So for me, that was good because I do it for my coaches and I might do my process, but it's always good to find someone outside of yourself or outside of your circle that is asking you those questions, because it will expose another area that maybe you weren't aware of, or remind you of something that you need to take care of.
Yeah, and as I listen to you talk about your process, it makes me, like you said, want to walk through your process. It sounds like we have some very, that's what I experience a lot in this space.
Yeah.
We are all, I call us healers. We're all
Mhm.
healers. And so we're all walking with people, and we have our way, and the Thrive Plan
Mhm.
is the way that I have put it out here, which is my proprietary tool, and you have one as well. But as coaches, for all the coaches out there, sometimes you need to step outside of what you're continuing to share with people and walking with people, and to look at other people's tools and strategies, because it does allow you to go deeper. Thank you so much. I would love to learn more about your 40-day process as well. So, and also thank you so much for looking at the Thrive Plan. The goal is to go from that survivor mind that you have. I'm so sorry about that. That survivor mind, and decide to be a thriver. It go from reacting or crashing out to someone that responds, going from the
Mhm.
chaos in your life to clarity. And that's what,
Yes.
so the goal is to actually move. I know that some people
Move. Yes.
move out of where you are. You can't.
Mhm.
A lot of people stay in their. They endure and they stay in the dismay and this despair. Instead, this really is a catalyst to spark you, to activate you into doing something about the care for yourself, and having people around you that helps you with that.
Right. And I want to thank you for what you do and how you do
Oh,
it. Yeah. Sometimes we don't get enough gratitude. And so I want to offer gratitude to you and say thank you
oh,
for doing this in a unique and enjoyable and fun way, right? Which makes it more palatable for people to embrace what it is you share. So thank you for what you're doing.
right. I really do appreciate you saying that. And yeah, like I was saying to you earlier before we got on, I want to speak to the people who are the thrivers, because um, I know that I'm modeling thriving, and but I also know that there are plenty of other CEOs and leaders, people who are influencing others, that is modeling thriving as well. And so I want to highlight that. That's what this is about.
Right.
This is what it is about. We want more of this shown in the
Mhm.
world. Like, I mean, all the things that you have going on, your books, your processes, you said you have this, is it sold out? Is it sold out process?
Sold out method.
Sold out method. So we have all these amazing methods. And I love it. I love to share them because you are a right fit for, going back, try on till you find the right fit. You're a right fit for the people who are for you. And I in my way is the right fit for them. And also we can always collaborate in the ways that we need to as well. So, as you are thinking through yourself, are there any new coping skills that you would like to amplify in your own practice?
Yes. So one of the things I encourage people is, you and I both know that at some point you got to face, right? You got to face what you're thinking about.
Mm,
And a lot of times, most people try to override their thoughts by putting on music or calling a friend or going out to dinner or see a movie. so that they can flood their minds with something else, right? So, a simple process, a really simple process that I do and share with my clients is just to write down what you're thinking about, right? Those neural pathways, right? Those thoughts show up as sentences in our mind. So, write down the sentences in your mind, the negative sentences. In other words, expose the fear based part of you. Expose that part of you, because if you keep covering it and
Mm.
holding it down, it's just going to seep into other areas of your life. So you
Mhm.
might as well expose it. When you shed light, like I think it was the movie The Gremlins, when you turn on the light, they started to die, right? I think it was the Gremlins, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same
You
thing.
put water on them. They were so nice and fluffy. You put water on them,
Mm,
and then they turned into gremlins. But then also
okay.
with the light, something about the
I
light.
think it was
I
the
forgot
light.
about the
Yeah.
light part.
Something about the light. So put light on those gremlins. So
Put the
expose
light on
those
it. Yes.
negative thoughts. Put the light on it. And yeah, you're gonna feel a little so way, but that's okay. We're gonna get there. And then write down, what are you feeling?
Mm.
Write down what you so write down those little gremlin thoughts. Then what are you feeling? And then what actions are those thoughts making you take?
Mm.
Right. So it may mean that instead of doing sales, or instead of making a business call, or instead of working on developing something, you decide you're just going to scroll through Facebook for an hour, or you decide you're just going to sit on the couch and watch a movie. I'm just going to watch a movie and then I'll go back to work, and you never get back there. You decide you're going to do something other than what you need to be doing. So that's the fear-based side. And then you do the same thing on the faith-based side, TFA, still TFA, right? But this time you're going to start from the bottom, and you're going to reverse engineer it. So, what actions, that's the A in TFA, what actions do you need to take? What actions is your faith telling you to move towards? What actions does success say that you need to participate in? And write down the actions, right? Don't worry about the how. Somehow or other, the how will come, but write
Okay.
down, what actions do you need to write down. So instead of watching a movie for 2 hours, instead of scrolling on Facebook for an hour, you write down that you are going to outline a program that you want to do. Or maybe you write down that you're going to call 10 leads today so that you can do some sales. Whatever it is, write it down. Don't connect any emotions to it. Just
Yes.
write it down. And then the next thing, since we're engineering the F line, how is that going to make you feel when you accomplish that?
Mm-hmm.
How is it going to make you feel? Well, you're going to feel joyful. You're going to feel excited. You're going to feel confident. Whatever it is, write that down. And then in reverse engineering, it takes you back to the T line, which is your thoughts. What is it that you're going to be telling yourself that makes you feel that way, that then propels you to take the action, the positive action? So you might be telling yourself, I am amazing. I can do all things through Christ. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am excited about making these sales calls, whatever it is, and write those thoughts down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then focus on the faith based side and put a plan together, and then start taking action. And every time you start to veer over to that fear based side with those negative thoughts, now you got a list of declaration, you got a list of positive thoughts that you can
Yeah.
pull out and start saying, I am excited about making my sales calls or
Mhm.
whatever it is that you had on your list today. And say it 3 times. Or what I like to do is I like to put my timer on for 5 minutes and just keep repeating it, because what it does is it activates excitement and energy in you, and it gives you what you need to take those actions that you wrote down.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that framework with us. I hope that you all are listening. This is a very educational and hearty conversation where, ma'am, you're giving away a lot of great things today. Thank you so much
You're
for
so
being so generous during this time. And I know that's one of the ways that you have been successful is how generous you are with the knowledge. Because the thing is, people are still going to need to hold their hand and hold them accountable to
welcome.
these things that you're saying. And so for you all action oriented folks out there, here you go. Here's some information. And when you want to go deeper, or if you want someone to hold your hand and to be there with you and hold you accountable, please reach out. Her link is ticking below right there. But
Mhm.
also, if you want to talk with her, here you go. Here's the link
There
to
you
talk
go.
with
Yeah.
her as well. So we're so excited that you have been here with us today. You said so many things that resonate so much with me, personally,
Mhm.
like being someone that was teaching your teddy bears, and I was trying to teach my brothers and sister and my brother and my sister, and they was not going because they said this is too much like school. But
Mhm.
and just like you said, they don't make enough money. So I found that out. And also that I said they won't let me teach what I want to teach. So I decided not to go the route of
Mhm.
teaching kids like I thought I wanted to. I went the
Mhm.
route of teaching clients as a therapist. It's constant
Exactly.
psychoeducation. That's
Exactly.
why I was like, my book, I'm trying to teach you counseling skills. Come on, y'all. Like, I'm trying to teach you because know that
Good.
I'm a teacher. I'm a guide. I know that.
Right,
And I
right.
can see you are as well.
Yes, I went right back to what I was supposed to be, but it's a different arena. So it wasn't in a traditional classroom. The world
Yes,
is my classroom.
the world. Come on.
The
That's
world
right.
is my classroom.
That's yes. I so resonate with you. This has been such a
Mhm.
pleasure to have you
I
here.
enjoyed it.
Please let us know how we can support you.
So right now, I'm actually getting together my next cohort, which starts in the end of June. And it's another group of women that I get to work with. And I don't, sometimes we're in classes where, and I've been in many classes where there's hundreds of people in the class. I keep my classes small so that I can connect with you and really do some individual coaching in a group setting in the class. And so, listen, if you really are trying to figure out where you stand in the world, where you're supposed to be positioned in the world, or maybe you know who you're supposed to be, but you're just not sure, like, what do I do next? Like, how do I get started? Definitely go to talktoclestine.com and just schedule some time with me, and I can just peel back the layers with you and help you to put a strategy together and then introduce you to what the best next step would be for you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, you all. The link is
Thank
ticking
you.
below right there. Go ahead, take action now and reach out. If she has resonated with you or you've gotten a tip, a jewel from this time together, reach out to her today. Don't delay. Don't delay. Go ahead and reach out. Also, I would love for you all to check out and get your own Thrive plan. You can go to bit.ly/try on thriving, bit.ly/try on thriving. You can get your Thrive plan just like the one that our guest has been able to complete and told you about today. All right. And it has been amazing to have you here. Thank you, thank you,
My
thank you for
pleasure.
coming to Try on Thriving podcast.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time. I love your energy. I love what you're doing. So just keep pressing forward,
Yeah,
forward and so forth.
we're gonna keep on
Mhm.
flowing and doing the best things for all these amazing people who want to hear from us. You all
Absolutely.
create a thriving rest of your day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I